She's passionate about volunteerism and active YP of Society of Petroleum Engineers and other professional organizations with several awards who have served and still serving, volunteering in several capacities at the SP International Nigerian Council at section level and also at the SP RASU student chapter level. Her vision. Her vision is to attain the highest peak in her career both in the energy industry and academic world, where there are tough dynamic challenges with the team, imparting insightful and moral values to the world around her, and being a role model and an inspiration to every human, mostly the girl child, within the energy career path. So join those hands virtually with me as we welcome Dorcas Jenny Otis Quiro, our moderator today, to take the floor. Welcome, ma.
Thank you very much, Nicholas. Sincerely do appreciate the introduction. All right, welcome everyone and good evening. I'm glad to have all of us here. If you're on this call alone, you are selfish. That's not fair. Reach out to your friends and your colleagues and neighbors and ensure they join this session because the topic we're going to be treating today is top-notch and essential, both in our personal life and of course, very much in our career development or the career space. Okay, I once heard someone say that first impression matters. And guess what? Progressive impressions will definitely bind those matters, but also which would then result to satisfaction for those around you or those within your space. But you also need to know that not everybody that is satisfied with you will be a loyal customer. When I mean customer, I mean as per relationship or in your workspace, your management and all that. So not everybody that is satisfied will be a loyal customer. But then again, it all brings us back to personal branding. So your personal branding is very key and very important, which will make those satisfied customers to turn to loyal customers. And today we have an amazing personality, like the facilitator initially said, the best person or speaker for this event or for this session. So before we continue, I'd like us to take our safety moment so we can be safety conscious around where we are. First of all, I would appreciate us muting our mics for those of us that are not speaking to reduce the technical glitches or noises in the background to help others pay attention properly. And then also, if you have a question or you want to speak, you have something to say, we appreciate you using the raise of hand emoji on the, or drop a message on the chat box. And also while you're using the chat box to engage the session, let's remember to use C for comments and Q for questions to be able to differentiate them. And then of course, if you're using a headset to join the session or any form of hand-free or earpiece or so, kindly ensure that you can hear the fire alarm or any other security alarm around you. And be alert of your environment, wherever you're joining the session from, although I'll encourage every single one of us to ensure we're joining from a very safe environment. And then, of course, above all, ensure that you keep safe wherever you are. So thank you very much. And at this time, I'll invite our YP chair to please give us his opening remark. Our YP chair is Mr. Justice Vidigor. Please, Mr. Justice, go ahead and take the virtual podium and give us the opening remark. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, all. Thank you, my wifey mama. Yeah, so well, welcome to this confirm you can hear me.
Yes, we can, sir. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. Well, welcome to this month, June monthly Wiping Insight Forum, and very interesting topic. Yeah, so I believe we all had a great day at work, or probably you're trying to round up from work. Yeah, so very, very important that we have this event. We have we have spanned across professional, technical, uh, career development, and just get at building the YPs in Port Harcourt section. So we started this from December, and it's been a hell of a ride every month. We won't have some financial rates too. So the topic for today, personal branding, is very important. Just like what the moderator said before, it's very important you know how to brand yourself, especially when you want to transition your career as a differentiation. You need to be differentiated from the other person, your clarity, your credibility, and even it helps in networking. And there's so many others we'll be learning from the class today, from the online class today. So I urge everyone to actually pay rapt attention to the class and make sure you take notes. Don't assume you already know. Come with a teachable mindset. And the speaker for today is like both the moderator and the YP technical team they said, yeah, he's the best that we can get for this. We're not he's the best among the best, right? So it's good, he's qualified. So please come with a learnable mindset and you get the best you can from this YP monthly insight. So the topic today. So for the senior members, I'm just going to go to recognition of the senior members actually. I recognize my YP mama, that secretary for the board. Yeah. Okay, we'll stop here. I'll stop with the recognition for now. Probably during later on, we'll have it and continue. So thank you very much, and we'll have an excellent session together. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Thank you very much, my YP chair. Sincerely do appreciate. You should also know that within this space, you're the boss here. Thank you for the opportunity to serve in this capacity. All right. So without wasting of our time, I'll just move straight to introducing our amazing, power-packed, perfect speaker for this particular topic today. So our speaker for today is Mr. Ikeoma Isaac Prince. He is a petroleum engineer who combines his technical skills and knowledge with his passion for content creation. He holds a Bachelor of Engineering degree in petroleum engineering from the University of Port Harcourt and has multiple certifications in energy-related topics. At Midnight Marketing, he creates and delivers engaging and informative digital content for the energy sector, working with a team of talented professionals. He produces podcasts, blogs, social media posts, and newsletters that showcase the stories, insights, and opportunities of the industry. He also collaborates with clients and partners to develop content strategies that align with their goals and values. He has a strong background in problem solving, customer relationship management, and remote teamwork. Ikeoma is also the creative director and co-host of Energy IYK, a podcast that explores the personal journeys and challenges of young oil and gas workers. He aims to inspire, inform, and engage Gen Z in all things oil and gas related, and to empower the next generation of energy professionals. He also shares his expertise and knowledge through public speaking engagements, industry conferences, and technical publications. He has published several papers on topics such as well integrity, loss circulation, and the impact of the new Deep Offshore Act in Nigeria. So at this time, without much ado, I would like to welcome Ikeoma Isaac Prince, the energy content specialist at Midnight and the creative director of Energy IYKYKC company, to please go ahead and take the virtual podium and do what he knows how to do, or one of the things he knows how to do best. You're welcome, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you so much for the introduction. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here today to share a bit of my knowledge in personal branding and also career transitions. So yeah, like Ms. Dorcas initially outlined, I have a background in petroleum engineering and actually worked in the oil and gas industry as an engineer. I worked for 2 years with SLB as a field engineer, going to the offshore rigs, working onshore. So I didn't capture that well in my bio, but then I just have to let you guys know because that's where the transition starts from. So after working 2 years in the oil field, there's always, that void that I can do more, that's not getting satisfied. So also that passion, that core values, which is something that we're going to go through today, that enabled me, or like let me say that spiked up the need to transition into still working in the oil and energy sector, but then into a whole different dimension of the industry. So I prepared a presentation slide that I'm going to present today and walk you guys through what it entails to build your personal brand and how you can use an established personal brand to navigate your career towards any direction you want to. So let me pull up the presentation that I have prepared and we can, go through it together. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, I can, sir. Please go ahead. Though you might want to convert to slide mode.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so the topic for today is personal branding for career transition. So we could just, go through the agenda, which is like introducing the subject, walking you guys through the need to kind of like know who you are, know what your passions are, embracing what makes you unique, doing things out of the norm, not being conventional. These are like ways you could actually stand out, embracing digital tools, trying to create a space for yourself. Because if you really want to navigate your career, you need to be able to create it out. That's when everyone, to me, I always go with this philosophy that most people that I know that are like people that they're like change makers, they're always very inquisitive, they're always very creative. So if you want to break out of like a traditionally known field, you are then deemed to be like called someone that is creative. So in that sense, you are set to bring out that aspect of your creativity, because that would be what you would use when it comes to moving to a different career trajectory. You need to tap into your creative side and see how you could use that to move yourself. So another thing in this digital age and time that we are living, social media is not to be underrated. You need to master storytelling. All of this comes into creating what is called your personal brand. You need to know how to network, think beyond borders, always be ready to learn, and also be the person that gives back to the community. You volunteer as much as you can. So running it down today, at the end of this presentation, I just want you guys to take home these key lessons. That after this presentation, my hope is for you guys to learn the practical techniques for leveraging your personal strengths, what your passions are, what digital tools are available for you to create out your personal brand. You have to also understand the importance of following the unconventional routes. And again, gain insight into networking. How can you network? What are the opportunities networking presents to you as well? So how you can use storytelling as well to kind of like, showcase yourself. So moving forward, we'll start with the very first thing that matters the most, unleashing your passion. But then all of this passion thing, these passion subjects that we're going to be discussing about is also tied into your personal brand. So you might want to ask yourself, okay, we are in a personal brand all geared towards career transitions. So, but then what is really a personal brand? So trying to break it down to you as much as I can, a personal brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. This is as simple as it can get. So assuming you walk into a building, what perception of you do you leave off of people, right? Probably you are the type that that you can speak well, maybe you dress well, maybe you are kind of like this is like the positive attributes that you have. Maybe also you ask a whole lot of questions, you are very inquisitive. So by doing all of this, unknowingly to you, you are in a way crafting what is called your personal brand. That's how you show up, that's how you carry yourself. So in some cases, when you're not even trying to, portray any image, but then your personal brand has already gone ahead of you. So that's when you walk into a room, people already know, oh, I know this guy. Oh, I already know he's going to dress well to this place. Oh, I already know he's going to talk about this. He speaks well. Oh, I already know he's going to ask this question and that. So this is like you crafting your personal brand and getting that idea into people's head already. So another thing is, when you're conscious of your personal brand, it helps you to craft it correctly. You need to be conscious that any interaction that you make, people are taking, different notes of you. You're like, that's your reputation, that's your image. So once you understand that, it gives you an idea of how to present yourself. You show the part that you feel like you want to show to people that is valuable to you, right? For instance, you are most of you are here as students. Right now, I might not really know you guys can mention your name and I would not know, because probably I haven't really interacted with you guys. I haven't seen your posts. You are not memorable to me. So, but there is a way you can create an image for yourself, and immediately maybe somebody like Nicholas calls your name in this meeting, I already know who you are, because probably is it that maybe I see your posts on social media, or I see your TikTok videos, or I hear you, winning an award or somewhere, your name just, once they call that name, it rings the bell in my head. So that's what personal brand creates for you. So, and again, one thing about personal branding is that you don't need to force it, because it's also who you are. So you don't need to start faking an image, of somebody else that is not truly you. So for you to build a good personal brand that people kind of like that draw people closer to you, or that is very powerful, number one thing is to understand what the goal of the personal brand is that you are building. And number two is like, do it in a way that is very authentic. It reflects who you are. And the number three thing is that communicate your personal brand in the way that you are in charge of it. You are building it, but then you are still in control of it. So these are like three things you should take note of when building your personal brand. And then the first thing that I talked about is authenticity. It needs to be authentic. And then that's where your passion comes into play. So like we know, generally they just send us to once we are done with secondary school, the next thing is to write JAMB, and then we pick up a career in maybe engineering, medicine, and you know, it's like a cliche, it's like a general thing that is expected of everyone to do. But that might not really be your passion, but then you are following the crowd, right? Let's say, for instance, you didn't understand the essence of who you are earlier on, but you have now started to realize who you are, and you know that, oh, this career path that I took doesn't really reflect me. I'm not very passionate about this career, but then I just followed the crowd, and I kind of like got myself here, but I don't really like doing this. So that's when you need to understand what do I like doing? What is my passion? Because with your passion, you can be able to now create a brand that really reflects you. Let's say, okay, I'm in engineering, for instance. I love communication. I will use myself as an example. I did engineering. I love communicating. I love creating. But then engineering in itself is not a very open career path for you to, you know, explore, you know, your creativity to the fullest. So you kind of like, oh, you are trapped. You are trapped in this profession, but then you are passionate about something different. So what am I going to do? Am I going to be in this profession that I don't like doing, or should I try to balance it off or look for a way to actually do something that I love doing, even while it's still in line with this profession that I'm doing, right? So if you understand yourself, oh, maybe you are somebody that kind of like you love let me say a particular aspect of the industry, maybe the part that deals with the oil rig. You love going to the rig every time, but then you see yourself in this same oil and gas industry, but then you are more in the office related side. But that's not really what you want. You want to be going to the rig. You don't want to stay in the office. So, you know, this is like you understanding what your passions are. And once you fully understand what your passion is, that will help you in like creating a brand that is true to yourself. Remember what I said, true. It should be able to reflect you. That's the number one step in building a personal brand. So moving to the next stage of your passion, the next thing is your uniqueness, right? Okay, I understand. For me, for instance, I love communicating. I do it in a way that no one else is doing it, right? Because I bring in a whole level of creativity, which is different from how someone else that I know would do it. So that's another thing is, once you understand what your personal brand is, so what your passion is, you start with how am I going to embrace my passion and then do something that is unique. That's how you want to stand out to people, especially if you are trying to transition from one career to another. You want to, for instance, I've seen lots of engineers, probably, or not lots of them. I've seen a handful of engineers that move from engineering to HR, They moved from engineering to communication specialist, but they moved because the company that they work for wanted them to move to that section. Doesn't mean that that's actually that there's no passion, there's no drive in that. It's just like that's company's need, so they need to just move into that. So that means you're just following what your company said you should do. You do it. But if you want to do something that nobody's asking you to do, but then you know that this is what you are passionate about, you want to break that chain, you need to do it in a way that is unique, right? Let's say I wanted to move out from engineering to communications. Then my company wasn't pushing me. They said there's no space available for me to move to communications, for instance. So, but I still want to move, right? Because just because the company is not open for me to move doesn't mean that I should tune down myself or bring down my passion and wait until when there is opening for me to move. So you have to start creating a platform, start looking for creative ways to still showcase that communication side of you. For me, I was still working in the oil field when I already know that I don't want to be so much into going to the rig and doing all of the oil field roles. And then, but then there is no opportunity for me to move into communication. So how am I still going to show that my communicative aspect of me? Because I'm passionate about communicating. So what I did was, there's a way I can still be doing this oil field, going to the oil field, but then still be communicating about it. I can do a day in my life as a field engineer. I can communicate about it to people. I can create posts about what it feels like working in the industry. I can create posts about interview processes of getting into the oil and gas industry, into the oil field. These are like me trying to kind of like create a path for myself. Even if the company doesn't want to create a path for me, I'm pushing because this is what I'm passionate about. So nobody has the right to carve a career for you that you want. You have to take the initiative, build your personal brand, and carve out a career for yourself. So this was how I was slowly, communicating. And I was using social media platforms like LinkedIn, Instagram. I was pushing. So to even put it to you, when I was doing all of that, I was just doing it for while still working my oil and gas job. I was just doing it for fun. But I really know that I really enjoy doing this. So when it was I wasn't even looking for the opportunity started coming to me. I was being thrown so many opportunities. Why? Just creating a personal brand that I wasn't even ready for it to navigate my career yet. I was just having fun. But then unknowingly to me, I'm building a brand that is quickly pushing me out of like driving me to a whole different career lane. And once I realized it's already like, oh my God, it's time. Because I was thinking that career change would come from my main company, which is SLB. But it did not come from SLB. It rather came from a different company because it was actually time for me to move, right? Because this other company valued what I bring to the table. And me too, I enjoy doing that. So it was just a perfect match for both of us. So when they presented me with an opportunity, with an offer, I thought it was nice. And I quickly just moved out of my career, working as a field engineer, to doing something that I love in communication. So this is one thing you should try, and different creative ways you could do. Don't allow anything to limit you from being your full authentic self the best way that you can. So do it with bringing your own flair to it, not just the whole idea of your uniqueness that I mean. So another thing is like this disrupting the norm. This is another approach, because once you are building your personal brand, especially once you are, some people build their personal brand in a company, right? That's another thing. You can build your personal brand in a company that you want to stay in. You are not doing anything different. Your personal brand is within that company, which is something that I really don't advise people to do. Even as a student, you are looking for a job, so you have to build your personal brand towards the opportunity that you are trying to get. Let me say, right now, there are lots of remote opportunities in the oil and energy industry. And you, as a student, you want to build a personal brand. So you have to build a personal brand. If you're interested in working remotely in the oil and energy sector, you build a personal brand towards remote work. You come up on LinkedIn, you are always on video, rather than creating, writing long, writing posts, writing content. Like, you are more of like showing your face. You are more of like positioning yourself, like creating video content. So once you keep on creating this video content, you are like, you know, trying to push yourself towards remote, because that's where what it's mostly required. Being being kind of like video friendly, and also you know, trying to also write about, you know, remote, your passion for remote work, how you think that the industry is changing through the rise of remote opportunities. So if you keep on creating content in that aspect, you are letting people know that, oh, this is the area that I'm interested in. That's you kind of like branding yourself towards that area. Or maybe you think that you want to work in the oil and gas sector as an engineer or as a field person. So you kind of like start creating content as relates to, oh, what is happening in the field, which company has made discoveries in the field, you know, what are like safety measures people need to take while working in the field, even though you're not in the field yet, but you already have basic understanding of safety. So you could use that to create more of like PPE related posts. If you are going to be, what your green zones are, what your red zones are while working in an unsafe environment, or like, so you can create content towards that if you want to work in the oil field. If you also, in that same oil and gas industry, you want to work in as a reservoir engineer, production engineer, you can start creating related to that particular area of interest, right? So all I'm saying is that everything you are doing, you need to be very thoughtful. So another thing is, actually, some people, like I said, once they get the job, they keep on creating the brand, or sometimes they would stop creating the brand because they feel like, oh, I just created this brand because I wanted to get a job. Now I got a job, so there's no need for me to continue. But some people will now kind of like, oh, I created this job, this brand, I got the job. I want to keep on creating the brand, but within the company that I work for, which is fine, but I don't advise it. But some people can still get the job and keep creating their content, but keep it very open, where it's not related to any company that they're working for. It's just about what they enjoy talking about or what they enjoy doing, which is the one that I fully support. So most times it's advisable to keep the doors. It's always advisable to, when you are kind of like creating your personal brand, you create it so that it's like you are keeping the doors open, in the sense that if maybe something happens, peradventure you are getting laid off or something, you can easily transition to a different sector, because you already have a reputation, you already have a brand. So it can be easier for you to move. So it's all about keeping that option very open. And that's what I would advise people to do, right? So moving ahead, there are lots of tools you could use to create your personal brand, and there are lots of platforms you could use to create your personal brand. But it's then trying to pick which platform best work for you, right? If you are into an industry, so let me know if you can hear me, please.
Yes, we can, sir. Go ahead.
So if you are into, for instance, an entertainment industry, or which I doubt none of you are into, but then I'm just using it as an example. You are into an entertainment industry. You are, maybe you are not. You are into health and fitness. You know, there are lots of platforms you could use to reach experienced or experts in that field that can help you transition your career. For instance, entertainment and fitness and health, you could use Facebook, links, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, right? These are areas that, yeah, and TikTok. These are platforms where you can thrive. But if you're a very career-minded person and you want to build your professional career in, like, let's say, oil and energy, the best platform to use is LinkedIn. And you could use Twitter as well, and YouTube too, because you might want to record a YouTube video. So these are like the 3 platforms for young professionals that are like trying to build a brand in the oil and energy sector. So what tools can you use? So for the tools that you could use, there are lots of digital tools available for you to use. You could use Canva to create your designs, especially if you want to create a graphics that covers like a particular thing you want to talk about in your post. You could use what's it called? CapCut, you know, to create your video. So there are lots of different tools you could use. So it's all about understanding what these tools are and getting yourself ready to start creating with these tools. And for me, I would advise you guys to start with LinkedIn first, because this is where the experts, the professionals, that people that will help you. These are like the platform that they use on a day-to-day basis. So this is like my first go-to platform. So moving ahead, you can move to Twitter, but then LinkedIn is always the first one that I would advise people to use. You have to go to LinkedIn, create your profile, and creating your profile is a whole different ball game, which is something I don't think we'll have to cover today, because creating your LinkedIn profile, if you don't create it right, you won't attract the right audience and you won't get the right opportunity from it. So there are step-by-step processes that you would use to create, you could follow to create like a very engaging LinkedIn profile. So, but then LinkedIn profile is the first go-to place. And once you have created your profile, the next thing is start posting based on what I've said earlier, areas that you are passionate about, areas that you think that you want to drive your career to. So these are the areas that you can start creating content on, and monitor the engagement. The post that you made that is doing so well, try to repeat those posts. Try to create more from those posts, because engagement helps a lot, especially as you're starting out. If you don't get engagement as fast as possible, you might feel demotivated. So your first 5 to 10 posts might not do so well, because you're just starting about. Delete the ones that did high above average. Take information out of those ones and recreate posts and content out of those ones that are performing high, so you can use that to build yourself and build your audience as well. So this this is just as I've earlier said, that for you to be able to build your brand, you are more or less like a content creator to me, because building a brand is like creating a persona for yourself. And creating that persona, it's not like you're creating a fake persona, you're creating a real persona for yourself, but then you need to create it out using content, which can be blogs, it can be videos, it can be written posts, social posts. So creating a brand is more about you being a content creator. Just call yourself, I'm a content creator, creating my own brand online. This brand that I'm creating, being intentional about it. I have a goal for it. I want to use this brand to my goal for creating this brand is to like help me, become a thought leader in this field, help me a job in this area, help me network a connection in this area. So this is like be intentional, and you need to create your personal brand out. So network, being able to network. So for networking, there's no big deal about networking. Your normal LinkedIn interactions networking to me. All of those comments, all of those shares, all of those likes that we do on LinkedIn is a form of networking. So you don't necessarily need to see the person face to face for you to network. If you know maybe you know someone that you would like to network with, you probably want the person to be your mentor, you want the person to you look up to the person, you want to have like an interaction, like a chat with the person. So first of all, you just have to send the person a connection request. And instead of sending the person a normal connection request on LinkedIn, there's a way you can personalize your request and actually tell the person like a bit of an information about you, or the essence of why you wanted to, create the connection in the first place. There's a way you can personalize your invites, and I don't know if you guys know where to do that on LinkedIn. So you just do that. So once you send the connection request, before the person accepts it, the person will have to read a bit of the information you have on the invite, and then that would kickstart the relationship. Because most times, if you just send the connection request, the person might not really accept the invite, because probably they will be like, I don't know you. I probably don't know. Probably they don't want to get connect with people that they don't think that there will be any mutual benefits from the connection. So for you to boycott that aspect where the person will ignore your connection, it's always better to like leave a personalized invite. So once you're sending the connection, you're sending it with a note. Once the person reads the note, then the person will automatically understand where this relationship is going to lead to, and they accept the connection. And then you follow it up with thank you for connecting, and then you can then write in a bit of information you have learned about them. So another thing is, you can as well try to engage with their content. That's another way to kind of like build connectivity and build network. So once the person make a post, you engage, you like, you comment. This is, though you might not necessarily benefit from the person at that particular time. Probably the post is engaging and insightful to you, but the fact that you are interacting with the person's post is opening a door for you to kind of like, reach out and ask for assistance anytime that you want.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, please. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry to break you in. You have 5 minutes for your session. I should remind you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Almost rounding off too. So think beyond borders. This is one thing that has worked for me. I think it's actually going to work for you, especially if you embrace creating your brand on a. So For instance, LinkedIn is not limited to Africans, is not limited to what's it called, people from Asia. LinkedIn is like a global network. So if you are trying to build your personal brand for a platform like LinkedIn, you have to open up your horizon. Don't be like, oh, I'm going to be connect with only Africans or Nigerians that I'm familiar with. No, you have to connect with people outside of your race, outside of your location, outside of your geography, because this will help, put you on that global scale. Once you start interacting with people from that not in your location, they will provide you with information that are not even within your reach. They'll provide you with opportunities that are not in your immediate reach. And especially now that remote opportunities and remote job is now getting to become mainstream, you can work from anywhere in the world. So it's always good to interact with people that are not in your location, people from the US, Canada, anywhere. Interact with them, get information about them, ask for remote opportunities, because don't limit yourself saying, oh, why am I even trying to engage with these people? That they would, even if they help me get a job, they would say, oh, they will not sponsor my visa because that would be stressful for them. But now there's remote opportunities available. You don't even need a visa sponsorship. You can still be in Nigeria and be working anywhere around the globe. So think beyond, Nigeria, think beyond borders when you are trying to create your personal brand and build connection and build relationship. So another thing is also embrace continuous learning. This is another aspect. Building your personal brand. When you're a creator, when you have started building your personal brand on social media, for instance, you need to be ahead. You need to be like on top of latest information in your niche, because you get to the point where you are the go-to person. You are the person that people look up to for information, for resources, for news. So you have to keep on learning. You have to keep on researching. Because now you now have a community that you need to engage with. You need to provide information with that. You need to, you are not a thought leader in short term. So you have to, from now, start cultivating that continuous learning mindset and put that into your personal brand, because it will definitely help you moving forward. Another thing is giving back to the community, which is another way you could build your personal brand. Volunteer for events. SP is one of them, most especially when you're building your offline brand, because another thing is your online brand needs to match your offline brand. What people say about you online, that's definitely what they need to see when you show up offline. So another way you could do that offline is like participate in volunteering opportunities, like whenever SP is organizing their monthly technical meetings, you are there, providing assistance. Even in your university, your school, you have the SP student chapter. You are there. You are taking up one leadership role. This is how or even though you're not taking up a leadership role, you are volunteering in one way or the other to drive the mission of your SP section forward. So this is how you build your offline brand as well. And this is as well how you give back to the community volunteer. Because once people start seeing you showing up, showing out, oh, you are coming to events, you are coming to SP events, they are seeing you everywhere. So once they see your post on social media, it makes more sense to them. They can now connect the dots together. Because once you are creating an online brand, and people will be like, how am I even sure that he knows what he's saying? Because probably they don't see you, they don't know you. But then when you are interacting with people around you and connecting with your regional SP chapters and student chapters, this is how you solidify your personal brand and your reputation in any aspect of the energy industry that you have been, trying to build a brand in. Even if it's not like core oil and energy field, but even if you're moving in communications, but if you're within the oil and gas industry, you still need to be active in, if it's not NAPE, it's SPE. So I think at this juncture, this is where I kind of call it a day. And notwithstanding, you can always reach out to me on socials, on LinkedIn. And if you have any questions that probably we don't get to address here today, or you have any help, you need any help trying to build your personal brand, or you want me to review your LinkedIn profile to see if you're on track, you can always leave me a message on LinkedIn, and I'm always very available. I'm very excited in seeing people build their brand. So just know that this is an area where I would definitely communicate back to you. Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for having me today, share my knowledge with all of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prince. Thank you, sir. That was top-notch, well delivered, and sends the message home for those that paid attention and really came out for this purpose. Thank you so much. It was a worthwhile time. At this time, we'll welcome some questions or some comments or clarity you need. We have the next 20 minutes, and well done, sir. Exactly 35 minutes presentation. Sincerely do appreciate. So let's have your questions. You can either signify by raising up your hand using the raise up hand emoji, or just unmute yourself and we'll get you talking. Hello, can I be heard? Please let's kindly confirm you can hear me. No, Simeon, confirm if you can.
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you. So I see a thumbs up. I don't know if that is a thumbs up to the good lecture or that's a raise of hand. Franklin Obika wants to speak, but he can't unmute himself. So I think, Simeon, you need to grant everyone access to unmute and speak, please. And please confirm once you've done that so that they can go ahead and try to speak.
Wow.
Thank you. So Franklin, you should be able to unmute yourself now. Please unmute and go ahead, please.
Okay, yes. Thank you very much for the privilege. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, I can, loud and clear. Please go ahead.
Prince, for the insight he shared concerning personal branding. The question is, for example, if I want to build a personal brand, I'm into data science. I'm still learning. Me to creating content, even when I'm still in the build-up phase.
Can I answer this question?
Yes, please go ahead, sir.
Do you know that this is really the best time to start building your personal brand in data, branding yourself in as a data analyst? Right now that you are still learning data analysis, I can really think of 10 to 15 ways that you could, start getting people to know about your journey, transitioning from what is your background? Sorry, petroleum engineering, right?
Yes, petroleum engineering.
do you still want to work in the oil and gas industry? Because as a data analyst, you can work in tech. So it's like I said, it still boils down to understanding what your passion is. Are you still passionate about the oil and gas industry, but then you want to add data analysis to it, and then still work in the oil and gas industry, but then in the data analysis sector of the industry, or you are branching out using data analysis because you want to work in tech, and then you want to use data analysis to transition to tech. So what's the story? Because that's where it's all starts from.
I'm studying data science to apply it in my domain field, which is oil and gas.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So now that you have gotten this understanding of what you want to do with your data analysis skills, then starting from what you can do is start a campaign and be like, starting, let's say, I'm starting kind of like a 100 days challenge. Every day I'm posting about what I've learned in data analysis and how that can be applied in the oil and gas industry. One day what I've learned and what the application is in the industry. Even if is not, you don't really understand what the application is, because this is another way it can help you, time. Maybe you're learning the data analysis just for learning sake. But if you start this challenge, you are now very thoughtful. Anything you learn in data analysis, you now see how you can tie it into the petroleum industry. So you just come to LinkedIn and say, today I'm starting a 100 days challenge. Every 1 day for one thing I've learned in data analysis and how it ties into the oil and gas. So once you start that campaign, at first people will not follow. But once you keep on posting, once you are consistent, that's when you will see people following your story, because they actually want to see, is he actually going to complete this 100 days? Or some people will follow because I'm not sure he's going to complete the 100 days. Some people will actually follow because they wanted to see what you gain out of it. Some people are following because they're learning from you. So you attract different types of audience, but then it's all eyes would be on you, which is probably what you want for now, because you're trying to build a brand for yourself. So if you start that challenge, that is the way, because you are learning as well. You are not an expert, you are still in the learning phase. So most people will also start learning with you. So that's what, and again, it will keep you accountable, because as you are learning, sometimes you might feel demotivated and you just say, oh, what am I even doing? Why am I even learning this data analysis? You just stop. But once you have put it out there on social media, people are now holding you accountable. You don't have any choice but to complete it and learn it and like complete everything. So that's why it's best for you to start building your personal brand right now as you're learning. Take people through your journey, and once you have completed your journey, it's like, oh, I've completed it. The people that followed you, and maybe the companies that followed you and see what you did from 0 to 100, if there's an opportunity in their firm for internship, even though it's not a full-time job, you are the first person that they will communicate, because they already see what you are doing on social. They already see how you're telling your story. So this is like the art of storytelling. So they've already seen it. So I feel like this would be the best time for you to start creating the brand. So give it a try. Start posting about it, and see where that leads you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Frank. Thank you for that wonderful question. I'm sure several others and several other participants have learned from it. I don't see other hand raised or any comments or questions in the chat box. Please, we still have a few more minutes for question and answer session.
Yeah. So someone actually reached out to me on LinkedIn right now for their profile review, and I feel like this is a very good start. You can reach out to me, DM me. I would look at your LinkedIn. If and we could just like review some few things. I'm just happy that the person took initiative right on this call and reach out immediately. I'm just getting the message now, which is a good thing. Yeah.
Well done. Okay. Okay, I have a question, right? You said something about your passion and all that. So I was wondering, would somebody be building a brand if their passion was money? You know how somebody walks into a room or they walk out of the room, like you said, when they're not there, what you're known for. Oh, guy, don't joke with business with them, or don't joke with profits with them, or don't joke when it comes to money with them, because when money is involved, all the energy, A game comes into play. So for someone with such as their passion, are they building a brand or what? What do you think, or what would you say?
I would, no, because I feel like money is like is a material thing. So in terms of building your brand, I feel like we are money is the driving force, but I don't really think is a passion, right? If we don't, I don't think I can say money is my passion. It might drive me to do things that I'm not passionate about, but if there is money, I'm driven to do it. But there are some things that I can be passionate about, then if there is money, then that's an added advantage. But I'm already like passionate about, even without money, I'm passionate about doing that, right? Even if I'm not paid much. It's just about understanding having money, because honestly, you can get money and then you're working in a place where you don't actually enjoy what you are doing. There's no amount of money that would satisfy that void, because deep down, you know that you can do more. There are lots of opportunities out there for you where you can, even though you're not earning as much as you're earning there, but you are more satisfied. You are more, you're, I don't know how to put it. You're more at peace with yourself. You can tell yourself that I'm kind of like I'm home. I don't know. It's like a feeling that comes when you are doing something that you are passionate about. That doesn't necessarily have to do with how much money that you have. So when someone is money driven, and that's what is his driving force, I can't really say that the person is building a brand for himself, saying that because there's money, so he has to do some things. I feel like most of us, we have, if money is on the table, we could do some things even when we are not passionate about it, but that doesn't really necessarily transit into what our ideal brand and passion is. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I don't know if this answers the question, but
it does.
I'm just, yeah.
Thank you very much. There's one more question on the chat box. We'll have to make that the last question. It says, how does one build a personal brand if he or she aspires for a career in the energy sector, but is presently in the financial sector? With a petroleum background though, how can they transition? How can that transition come about?
Okay, the person is in a financial sector already with a petroleum engineering background.
Yes. So they
I want to get back into the industry back again.
Yes. How can they build their brand within the industry space? Even though
Okay, to me, I would say, since probably the first interest was to Probably that is why you did the petroleum engineering degree, just because you wanted to work in the industry, but then circumstances or like challenges happened and then you found yourself in finance. If you have gotten some years of experience in finance, it will be easier for you to now move from finance back into the oil and gas sector. But then you might not necessarily work in the oil field with your finance experience, but you can still work in the oil and gas industry, but then in a finance department, right? So if you want to do that transition back into the oil and gas industry, but then in a finance department, you have to start networking. I feel like network would go faster than would work well for you than trying to create a social media image to come back in. Social media image would work if you are just an early career person that is just starting out. But since you're already in finance and then you want to move back into the industry, I think the best way is to use the networking route. And what it means is that start coming out, start engage, start networking when SP events is like happening, when technical sessions that happen. Look for, if you are not sure of which chapter you belong to, you first of all get grounded, get registered to a particular SP chapter, start showing up to the SP chapters event, when you start showing up, you start meeting people, start meeting game changers, industry leaders at this event, and then you start letting your interest known, letting them know that, oh, you have a background, and then but then you are in finance. If there's an opportunity in their company, but then in the finance department, of course you can easily fit in using your finance experience, right? So this is the way that can work for you. And if you also kind of like try to let them know that you are open to being referred. So even if they're not the one providing that opportunity for you, but then they can refer you to someone that they know would help you. So in that case, you are showing up, you are taking pictures with this, you are taking pictures at this event. And then another thing is that once you go to this event, take a whole lot of pictures, meet people, then that's when you can, go back to your social media and post about the event, post about the people you met, post about what you learned about the takeaway. So that's how you can, start building your brand from in-person first and then moving it to social. So once you have done the in-person to social thing for a while, and maybe people have started knowing you as a face in the oil and energy sector in a particular region, let's say Nigeria, you have started doing that for a long time. So you can then, start becoming a guest speaker on SP events that are related to finance or let's say policies, or start positioning yourself as a thought leader as well in the finance to petroleum engineering sector gap. Start bridging that gap. So once you do that in maybe public speaking event and all, this is another avenue. That's how you start building up your momentum. And if it's an opportunity to get a job that you're looking for, I think it will definitely come your way once you've tried these routes that I've mentioned.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for your amazing questions. So like Mr. Prince said, he is on LinkedIn, he's on Facebook. Just reach out to him or do him a direct message right now on this call and connect with him for further questions or further grooming or information or clarity you may need. So thank you so much. At this time, we'll bring this particular part of the section to a wrap and say thank you so much, Mr. Prince. Please, could you kindly stop sharing so I can share my screen to the next agenda activity for today, please? Thank you so much. All right, so the next agenda for today is our certificates and photograph section, and I'll call on the SP Port Harcourt technical team lead, Mr. Nicholas, to please go ahead and take the certificates award into our speaker. Go ahead, sir, please.
Right. Let me quickly share my screen. Okay, so thank you once more, Mr. Isaac Prince Ikioma, for that wonderful presentation. I learned a lot. During the presentation, I keep reminiscing or remembering different industry leaders that have one point in time or the other quit active career to chase their passion. And when you come across stories like that, it only keeps you in a state of thought about questioning, what am I really doing with time? It's better to start early. Should I wait first, build up capital, build up competence? And I think the speaker has answered a whole lot of questions in that regard. Thank you very much. And as a way of extending our thanks and appreciation, we, on behalf of the Society of Petroleum Engineers, Port Harcourt section, we present to you this certificate showing how we appreciate what you've done today, putting out your time, your resources, your experience. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. A copy of this certificate will be sent to you after this call via official channels. Thank you. See you next time in our programs.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you everyone that joined this section. I mean, like,
thank you. For the next time.
All right. So let's
like a first step to building your brand. Yeah.
All right. So let's quickly turn on our cameras so that we can have a group photography.
Thank you.
Okay, let's put on our cameras, please.
Simeon, kindly notify us when you need us to smile and yes, try not to put your hand into my screen.
Okay. Let's keep the smile on as we take the picture. Okay. I love the way the smile is coming up.
It's gradually progressing.
Okay. Counting seconds down. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, we are good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Simeon. Thank you, everyone. We're almost at the end of the session. Please continue to stay with us as we move to the next agenda for today, which is our membership drive. And I'll call on Emanuela. Are you on the call or who's taking it for the membership team, please?
Hi, everyone. Good evening. I'll be taking it for the membership team this evening. All right. Thank you very much to our speaker, Isaac. A lot of wisdom about both personal and career branding was shared here. Myself, I learned a thing or two. And of course, big kudos to our moderator. I mean, Dorcas, I could listen to you all day. All right. The membership drive. Okay. Next slide, please. So just in case you don't know, maybe you saw your mentor on LinkedIn posting that he was going to be speaking at this event, and he said to come and hear what he's talking about. This is SP. SP is short for Society of Petroleum Engineers. So it's the place for today's oil and gas professionals and prospective leaders. Right. In SP, we have several levels of membership. If you're a student, there's a place for you in SP. If you're just starting out your career, you're currently serving your country, that's doing the compulsory 1 year NYSC, there's a place for you in SP. If you are a seasoned professional, so there's a place for you in SP. We have different levels of membership. And the interesting thing about SP is that at these different levels, this career of people have benefits attached to their membership, right? There are different things to benefit from SP, which is relevant for the stage of life they are currently in. Excuse me. So for us, since it's a young professional program, of course, you get the opportunity to network 360. You network with those above you career-wise, network with your peers, and you're also given the opportunity to network with people that you are ahead of career-wise, and you can also mentor them. Then there's also the opportunity for you to attend events such as this is a professional event. We also have technical events that you can benefit from, and you can also enhance your industry knowledge. It's very important. You might just be in one division or one department in maybe the company you're working in, but in SP you learn a lot. You learn across board, and this is something that you can't buy anywhere. And of course, we have conferences. We have our NICE coming up. So this is a gentle reminder for those of us that plan to go to NICE. The early bird fee ends on the 30th of June. After the 30th of June, you would have to make full payments. And of course, publishing of papers and whatnot. Next slide, please. So if you want to be a member of SP, SP is a non-profit organization. In fact, it's one of the biggest leagues of volunteers in the world. So if you want to volunteer as a young professional, there are different avenues for you to volunteer. Everyone on this call, including the speaker, they are all volunteers, right? Nobody was particularly paid to do this, but, we are volunteering because of what SP represents and, also to give back to the society. So you too can also volunteer, right? But to volunteer effectively, you need to be a member of SP. So you can reach out to me, right? To be a member of SP, the registration fee is 36,000 naira. Or if you want to renew your membership, you pay 28,500. I would encourage you, to register as soon as you can. Don't keep it, don't wait, I'm going to register, by the end of the year, I'm going to register next year. Dollar is not waiting for you to register to rise. I know I'm saying this. So if you can afford to register now, I encourage you, please register. Thank you very much. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn, or you can reach out to either of the people on the screen. Their contacts are there if you want to become a member of SP. Thank you very much.